force is strong in this one.
I don't believe the big drop answered. Big drop. I'm sorry.
What you thinking about? The big drop.
Big trip.
Hey, Peter, she just made the stock go up.
The stock definitely did go up. I'm gonna check just to verify that it did. So
it did. Stop it! Don't play up.
No, I have to check though. I can't just go from feeling. I feel like the stock went up a little bit. I feel like it. So I can't go on feelings. I gotta go to the actual stock.
Hey, Peter, real quick too though. When you checking the stocks, check the stocks on Teeth too, cause of King. Check the stocks on Teeth.
So stop it. But the stock is going up. Don't short up.
Or should I say toothpaste?
Did you want?
I say it's no, because you gotta look at the traditional woman. They just don't have. I mean, the new age woman. They don't know just what the traditional woman kind of went like not truly. Not sometimes they actually have parents. They actually raise them a certain way, so that they know those values and stuff. But the new age woman, they don't know those things. So if they had the money, it's not gonna really change too much. They'll be the same. Honestly, it'll probably get worse. Cause then they probably.
Okay, I think that everybody has a point that is saying no because they're including the toxic lifestyle of a person with a lot of money. So I'm gonna change it. Let's say we're gonna move the modern women back into the ages of women where women were more focused on family, where they didn't have the opportunity to work. They didn't have the opportunity to vote. They didn't have the opportunity to be in corporate or in state or anything. They didn't even have opportunity to have bank accounts most times. We're going to go back that far. We're going to put the modern woman in that day and age. Now, do you believe she focuses more on family and the community? Fancy, we're starting with you.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Can I be last? Because I'm trying to attain it all. And
are you still talking about with the same mindset? I'm sorry. Are you still talking about taking the current mindset?
I'm taking the modern woman.
I just want to make sure I understand.
I'm telling you that all of a sudden, boom, here's the scenario. Boom, EMP, electric magnetic pulse. I'm going to give you a scenario that can actually happen. EMP, the largest electrical magnetic pulse that has ever been detonated over the United States has just happened. Your car don't start. Your phone don't work. Ain't nothing happening. Ain't nobody going nowhere. There is no electricity. There's nothing. We are back to square zero. We are back to step number one. We ain't gonna be able to produce electricity again for a whole year. There ain't nowhere to go. Ain't nobody calling you. All you got is your kids, your house, and your neighbors. This is a reality that could actually happen. What is the modern woman worried about now? What is her focus? What is her number one concern every day?
So
Survival.
what you're saying, oh, sorry.
No, I want everybody to answer. What is the modern days woman number one concern every day after this has happened over a period of 30 days?
Hey, Saul, before you continue, I don't want to lose people. EMP is a real thing. It's not fake. There's something that they can do and shut down all electronic devices. It's called.
That's why I suggest that all of you.
So I gotta let y'all know.
If you have electrical vehicles, always make sure that you keep at least one combustion engine. Okay, Fancy, what's your answer? What is the modern day woman focused on?
I think she's going to be focused on surviving and probably finding a man to procreate with and probably starting back on like round one, the basic.
The force is real.
Nature over nurture. and probably become a woman again. Yeah.
Leadership.
I agree with that. Whenever the lights go out, it's all about survival. And it's all about unit. It's all about connective family groups. You go back to your base instincts, and your base instinct is going to be find protection and find provision.
Beloved, what is the modern day woman thinking about?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, clap back.
Well, I mean, if like you said,
I'm going with Fancy.
All right, Peter.
I'm going with Fancy.
Mirror.
I agree.
Blasian.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fancy.
Big Drip.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fancy.
Big Drip.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fancy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them.
Hey, turn your Wi-Fi off, Big Drip. Turn your Wi-Fi
Ew,
off.
I sound like that.
What's your answer, Big Drip? All you gotta do is just turn your Wi-Fi off. You'll be fine. I'm pretty sure I know what his answer is going to be. He's probably going to agree with the majority of you. Please make sure we're at 200,000 likes by 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Big Drip, what's your answer?
Yeah, I do agree.
Okay, so with that being said, I put that scenario out there for a reason. We're playing chess here. As soon as you remove the necessity for things, as soon as you remove the necessity for money, as soon as you remove any and everything we had advertised in front of our woman, there's only one thing left. What she was born to do in the first place. See, it's the additives to life. It's the artificial colors and flavors that we have added to life that has put our woman in a position where she cannot focus where she's supposed to. And I believe, and I'm going to say this, and I'm pretty sure that you're not going to all agree when I come back to the next question. The next question is this. Remember the answer you just gave. Y'all all agreed with Fancy. Don't forget that. The men who made their women focus on family had it right by eliminating their rights to work and interact in the workplace and focus on politics, money, and etc. Those men had it right by keeping women at home and focusing on family and children. Fancy, true or false?
See, I'm sorry, my brain, it just takes that as being a little controlling. I'm sorry. It's my opinion. False.
So what you're saying, your answer is false, right?
I feel like
that is true or false.
I'm not trying to get attacked.
Don't be afraid.
Just answer honestly. Yeah, don't worry about it. Nobody's going to.
Don't be afraid to speak your truth.
Yeah,
You won't be alone, sis.
yeah
I just
be honest and answer honestly.
So you're asking me if men were right by taking away women's like places in the work field and stuff, and just limiting them to just being wives and mothers?
Well, Fancy, I'm going off of your answer. Your previous answer was that, well, without all those things, women become women again. That's what you said. You said women focus on their kids and their family and what they were initially both. This is your answer, Fancy. I'm just trying to help you get
No,
there.
it's right. I feel like if you delete all the outside noise, which is social media, TV shows, music, all this outside programming. But I just feel like
that's what those men did.
But I feel
keeping
like
their woman in the house, focusing on, they can still work. They can still work in another house, but they weren't going to be focusing on the moving up the corporate ladder and politics and voting and all this other shit, getting caught up in who's this and what they believe. They wanted their women focused on the most important aspect of life, which was kids in the community.
Right.
I'm just using your words.
Is it my turn yet?
No, she got to give an answer.
Yeah, I gave my answer.
It is what?
You're somewhat right.
So that means you got to say true.
Stand on your answer. Just stand on your answer. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. You acting like a modern woman. You acting like a modern woman.
And see, here's the thing, right? Okay.
Wait. Let me give her
the answer.
I just want her to stand.
Give your answer.
True.
Learning has occurred. Leadership. True or false?
False.
One traditional badge given. One traditional badge given.
Whoa, I am not buying into the Handmaid's Tale. I am not.
That's not the Handmaid's Tale. Leadership, that's not the Handmaid's Tale. That's a stretch, bro. No, it's not. I watched that with my wife. That's not the Handmaid's Tale, man. I know what you're talking about, but it's not the Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale? Really? No, it's not. No, it's not.
So women can't work in a field.
Hold on.
I stand by my answer.
I just need your answers. Hold on. He gave his answer. He said false. Beloved, true or false?
I'm going to say, as painful as it is, it's true. I'm going to say true.
Clap back. True or false? Peter, true or false?
It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but true. I had a live about this stuff, a couple weeks ago.
And I disagree with your lie.
No, wait. Everybody give their opinion. Mirror, true or false?
False. No, I'm just playing. It's true. I just had to say false for the shock value.
Marie. I'm pretty sure it's Marie.
I'm gonna say false.
Big Drip, true or false?
True.
Okay. So we have 2 false, and the majority of everybody else's answers is true, as hard as it was to get it out. I'm going to give the Florida leadership first, and then we'll go to Marie, and they will explain why they believe it's false, and everybody will have the open floor and open opportunity to respond. Please give me the 200,000 before 6 o'clock. Leadership, the floor is yours.
Just you and I put our lives on the line for every American to be treated as a human being and to have the rights. Mm-hmm. And so right now, I do this, I've challenged any woman to tell me what legal right a man has that they don't have. And that's what we fought for. And I think by treating people as a child, to take away their ability to make mistakes, it creates a system, but it's not a real system, because adults need to make adult decisions and deal with the consequences of their decisions. If they play stupid games,
can I go ahead first?
They get stupid consequences, and we can't build a structure to me, that's like the YT man saying, hey, if we want to stop black on black crime, let's take them back to the slave days, because we owned them so they couldn't commit black on black crime, because they ain't have enough rights to buy guns and kill each other. It's just a slippery slope that I cannot buy into.
Okay, got it.
That's extreme. But can I say,
hold on, Peter.
That's a legitimate argument.
Hold on.
That's a legitimate argument.
No, that's a little extreme.
Hold on. Leadership. Military to military. You're my commanding officer. I'm your senior enlisted advisor, right? I come to you. We have Army personnel. We have Marine Corps personnel. We have Navy. We have Air Force. We even have reservists under our charge in a student status. I say to you, sir, we should not allow any of our students to have any type of relationships with active duty members. They should not allow to be going in their rooms. They should not allow to be having any type of sexual intercourse while here. They should not be able to have allowed to be used any type of alcohol. So there will be no sex allowed in the barracks. There'll be no relationships in between individuals here who work here, and they will not be allowed to go to the other base and interact with permanent personnel, because our job is to get them to graduate. Would you approve or disapprove my request to put in those restrictions to the personnel? And we have an all-female student status.
Approve.
Immediately. Because we know what's best, and we know that we need to get them from point A to point B, even if that means taking away regular liberties.
But they volunteered for the military, and in that volunteer for the military, you sign away your rights, right? When my general tells me we're gonna go jump out of the plane in the Panama, and we're gonna.
What happens when men get drafted?
We go and do that.
What happens when men get drafted and women don't have to sign up for the draft?
You still in the military. You follow orders. It's the military.
Right. We
must. Hold on, y'all. I think you're missing my point.
Yeah, you're missing this point. And I listen.
Yeah, my point is.
Can I say something?
You in the position. Hold on. Let me just say this last point. Then you can go. I put you in the position as the government. I was just the main.
So if women sign up and say, you know what, Saul, I want to give up my rights as an independent human being in order to have your protection and your provision, I say go for it.
Or the president the president can just include martial law and have the military take over the nation.
Well, we're not some third world country. There are rules in place.
But is that is that something the president can invoke?
He's got to have a reason, and presidents can be removed.
True, but like I said, we're not talking about something that's X-Men or something. These are things that can actually happen.
I agree, but he can only invoke martial law and state of national emergency. There has to be an emergency.
No, he can't. Okay, I'm thinking that.
Well, what if the Senate? Okay, what if the Senate and the Congress is pushing the president for it, and then he finally decides to go ahead and do it?
Then we're not living in the U.S., my friend. We're living someplace else.
But how can you say that? But that's in our doctrine. Hold on. The United States is not a person. The United States is not an emotion. The United States is doctrine, just like the Army is and the Marine Corps.
Let's take it to the same place.
It's the doctrine. And if it's in the doctrine, then we can apply it.
Let's take it to the same place, Mira.
Okay.
So the Congress and the president say, you know what? Them black folks, too much independence. We're going to pull, if you have melanated skin, you no longer have the right to vote. What we just law.
That's a little bit extreme.
You keep saying it's extreme, but to take away another human being's.
But you're talking to somebody. You're talking to a country that has done it already. It already had done it.
Do you think they can do it now?
Switch it a little bit. Can I switch it a little bit? Right.
No, hold on. I was trying to.
Okay, go ahead.
I was trying to take
get enough support.
The extreme.
Nobody on this app will.
I was trying to.
They would.
I was trying to take it away from the extreme of slavery, because y'all say it, so that's almost making marriage the equivalent to slavery. But whatever, that's kind of what we preach against.
Your woman can't work unless it's in somebody else's house. They don't have a right to vote. They don't have a right to go get a job.
Hold on,
I want you to show me how much difference that is.
That's not slavery. That's not slavery. That's not slavery.
What is it?
We forget.
Are you serious?
We forget the construct of the question, though. EMP went off. We have a situation where everything is back to.
I'm not trying to go there, I'm not trying to go there.
But no, that's.
I'm trying to take it away from the extreme of slavery.
No, I mean he's not being extreme, because that's the only way that you can get his mind to even go back, because it has to be an extenuating circumstance. And the extenuating circumstances, EMP has went off. There's nothing, and now there's either anarchy, or the Congress and the president is going to declare this law in which we have to do something drastic.
And Peter, you keep saying that we were here before. This is not some extreme. We were sitting in this country with no rights. We had Jim Crow laws. We were here before.
Oh gosh.
It's not extreme. I'm not.
Sir, no, sir. I've seen The Handmaid's Tale. Sir, it's not. I'm trying to take it away from the stream of slavery. You said slavery. We literally say that the marriage is not slavery. So if we're trying to say it just like this, same thing with children, right? They're people too, aren't they? But we don't say that they can't do things and they don't have, but we give them a parameter, not so we can, quote unquote, hurt them. Is to protect them from who? Themselves.
I agree, but
put up and that's all that. Hold on, okay. And that's all that's really actually, if you think about it, that's all that's been actually. That's the only offer that's been given. But then you took that offer and said slavery. You see what I'm saying? That's really all the offer that's been given. Putting things in the parameters to protect them from themselves.
We put rules
and protect, and in turn, that protects the family, protects the community.
We put rules on children because we say they don't have the mental capacity to make adult decisions on their own. And I will not buy into telling another adult that they don't have the mental capacity.
Going outside before the lights come on. Hold on. Going outside before and be home before the lights come on is not an adult decision. You're putting parameters to protect them from themselves. That has nothing to do with adult decisions.
I think I see what leadership is saying, because it does.
I see what he's saying, but he's stretching it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just showing you how crazy the idea is.
You said Handmaid's Tale. You're stretching it because I've seen the show.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Listen to me. Let me ask you a question. And leadership, you tell me if I'm wrong. When it comes to the betterment of the country will always be put first, just like the Marine Corps will always be put first over the Marines. The betterment of the Army will always be put first over the soldiers. If applying something is going to improve the overall situation and circumstance for the Army, then everybody will comply. So if that means corporal punishment, if everybody had a government credit card in the Army and 30% of them was abusing it, what is the Army going to do, leadership?
They're going to put in place.
They're going to take it away from everybody.
Maybe.
Everybody's going to get punished from the small group of individuals who are hurting the establishment. The United States is the establishment. We have a group of individuals who are taking advantage of tax dollars and misplacing them, who are putting children in bad positions, who are putting the country, damn near going to bankrupt the country by utilizing and taking advantage of things that were put in place to help families. So it was already done. We're not talking about something that's make-believe. This already existed. The society in America decided that women, you're going to be focused on the children in the community because that's where we need you the most. Y'all talk like this is degrading.
So says
this is a demotion. Hold on.
Says every dictator in the history of mankind that they were doing it for the betterment of their state, their city, their country. So they needed to take away rights so people could not make decisions.
Cool. So I ask you this, leadership. And then I'm going to give it to the panel again. When the decision was made for women to focus on children and community only, and the decision, because both of them was a decision, the decision was made for women to be able to go out and endure, to be involved in anything they wish. They had the rights to do whatever they wanted. Which decision that America made? gave the overall best results for children and family?
Okay, let me give you this.
No. Answer the question first, please.
We need
please.
It's very tough leadership. But come on, you can answer.
I need you to be honest.
I am. Just reverse the position. They say, you know what?
Now we answer questions with questions, sir.
Black men make better fathers.
Do we answer questions with questions, sir?
Men, so black men can stop working. You are no longer allowed to go to work. Your woman will work for you.
You can do it.
Stay at home.
You can do it all.
Not
long.
Hold on, Peter. I'm trying to hear what he said. Say that one more time, leadership.
So they go, hey, we get better results when they're black fathers. So we don't want any black men to work. Your job now is to stay in the home, build the community, and you do that. You can't work anymore. Your woman is the only one that can be employed.
It's physically impossible because men can't have babies. Who's going to be home when the woman is, who's going to be at work when the woman can't work because either the baby kept her from going back to work or the pregnancy got so bad that she's bedridden? It's physically impossible. Hey, I'm not against it. If it puts the black family in a better position, if men can sit there at home and have the babies and raise them, I'm all for it. But we can't have both parents sitting at home for 6 months because she had difficulty giving childbirth. She may never work again. That's what birth can do to a woman.
Can I speak?
Wait, hold on. I wanted to ask leadership.
Wait. Before we move on, he still has to answer my question.
Right. Okay.
Which decision that America made, because both decisions have already been made, and we got the results from both fucking decisions. Which decision, in your esteemed expert opinion, which one was better for the children and the family? Which decision? To allow women to do whatever they wish or to restrict them to family and community, which they still could work?
You paint me into a corner. Because we know what was better.
But this is why I want to ask you this way, because I don't want you to be painted in a corner.
Let's go back to segregation.
No, hold on.
We're having mental warfare right here. I need you to back out just for a little bit.
I'm not willing to.
Intelligent individuals having mental warfare right here.
I'm not willing to sacrifice. I'm not willing to sacrifice what you are insinuating must be sacrificed. That can't be that is a path to the family, but there are other paths that don't require us to give up the rights that you and I almost died for.
Leadership, I totally agree with you and I appreciate that information. However, we're going to go back to my question. My question was...
doing the Matrix moves right now, boy.
Out of the two decisions that America has already made, which results do you prefer for our children and our community in those decisions? Decision A or decision B? Decision A meaning keep women at home and restrict them to only focus on children and family and still giving them the ability to work. Or B, do as thy wilt.
You know, I'm always going to come down on the side of family, but you asked for too much.
But to do what thou wilt, we put a butt on that?
You asked for too much.
I'm only asking for an answer.
He's literally he's helping you answer the question, actually. He literally said, do what thou wilt. And then on family.
He's giving me an A or B choice in a world.
He's literally saying, follow Satan or family and your children. He's literally saying that.
He's literally saying, I'm going to take away the right.
I need a direct answer from a direct man.
Of other.
We are men. We give direct answers as men.
I said, you gave me A or B. So I chose the family answer.
Which is which one?
I am not going. You are not going. I'm not. I am not. I will give you your A or B answer.
I take your white
I don't agree with your premise.
Okay, well, can I ask leadership a quick question?
Go ahead, beloved. Go ahead.
The only thing, the way I was thinking about it, the way he was framing the question,
is similar to the way, like, your household, right? That the way he was saying it was like, if you, like, you're you're covering. The way he's framing it, it seems like that men would be the covering. So it doesn't seem like, it doesn't take away our rights, but it's the covering. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's away your rights.
So this is an example. So Saul was right earlier today, is you can't protect what you can't control. So when we got the signal, when I go into command voice, wife knows we're rolling, no questions asked. We move, she's not questioned, no questions asked. But I don't need to tell her what kind of cereal to eat.
We're not talking about that.
But we don't need control in every scenario to get the results that we want. We don't have the extreme. That's what this is. This is an extreme.
Leadership.
No, it's not.
Leadership.
No.
Why does the military have the ASVAB, the Arms Aptitude Battery Test? Armed Services ASVAB. Armed Service Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. Got it.
Yes.
Why do we have that?
2 reasons. So we can minimize the number of non-intelligent people in the military, the people that don't have the capacity to learn, and that they can put people, direct people into MOSs, jobs that they are more suited for.
And why don't we want the people in the military that we exclude with that test?
Because the assumption will be that they will not have the ability to learn the skills needed to execute on the military strategy of protection.
And if we were to allow those people in with disciplinary issues, with individuals who have problems being able to gain and retain information, what could that ultimately do to the other service members in a wartime environment?
We win wars because we are disciplined. Okay. And with that, that's why you don't have, that's why sexual relations within units are frowned upon, because that's how we win wars. People follow orders, they go where they need to go, and we beat the enemy. That's the way.
Now, would it be fair for me to say that all of those restrictions and regulations are really only put in place to save lives? If that was the bottom line, would you disagree with that?
I would not.
Okay, so that would be restricting of people to prevent them from hurting others.
Agreed.
Restricting people's ability to do things even though they really may have good intentions.
Agreed.
To prevent them from hurting others. Restricting women from doing certain things to protect the children that they give birth to. Sound familiar?
Like the military, we are an all volunteer force. And if the women volunteer to live in Saw Land, and in Saw Land, in order to gain your provision and your protection and your knowledge that this is what they need to give up, and they decide that it's worth it to give up, I am 100% let them go.
Last statement. I'm gonna give it to everybody else. What is a refugee? Who are refugees? What are refugees running from? Majority of the time.
Peter's hand.
See, people run to this country because they do not wish to live under the rules and regulations of the country that they are in. They run here for that. And we protect refugees. So when somebody doesn't like how a specific country runs itself, they leave. They go to other places. Is it not voluntarily? It's a voluntary thing to stay in the United States and to abide by its rules and its taxes and its requirements. This was an option that already a lot of people decided to utilize. A lot of people have taken the option to leave America because it doesn't agree with its rules and regulations and taxation. So what would be the difference when it happened already? Women decided to leave. They got on boats. They decided to leave because they didn't want to be part of a country that didn't allow them to vote and work and go around freely. Black people ran away, got in boats, hid, unallowed themselves just to get away. Rules and regulations are not dictated based off of individuals' wants. Rules and regulations are put in place to 99% of the time protect those people who cannot protect themselves. And we are talking about children and family, because at the end of the day, everything we're talking about, the number one person who suffers is the children. Chef Foxy, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming up.
I speak on myself.
Hey, Saul, thanks for having me on, man. I'm going to drop out.
Okay, thanks for coming up. We are supposed to be at 200,000 likes. We are supposed to be at 200,000 likes. Actually, we're supposed to be at 210. Y'all know what we do at the top of every hour? I need y'all to tap the screen, and I'm going to let Chef Foxy go. I need you to tap the screen. Tap the screen. Tap the screen. Tap the screen. Get me to 210,000. 210,000, y'all. Let's go. Tap the screen. Get me to 210. 210,000 right now. One song. We're going to play one song. Tap the screen. Tap the screen. Every top of the hour. This is what we do. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Kevin Samuels, shots out, boy. We represent for you. Tap the screen, y'all. One song. You know how we do. This is easy. Y'all been doing a good job. This is going to be easy. We ain't going to make it through the whole song. Tap, 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 tap the screen, y'all. 7,000 more, we're there. 7,000 more, we're there. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, hey. Money world, money world, money world. Tap the screen, y'all. We gotta tap the screen. We're almost there. 205, thank you. 5,000 more. Okay, 208, 2,000 more. We should have been done, y'all. Song almost over. We got 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Tap the shit on the screen. Let's get it done, y'all. Tap it up. Tap it up. Tap it up. El corazón. La parte no de nadie. El corazón. El corazón. Yeah, yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Hey, so we got Marie White, and then Chef Foxy, then Heavily, and then we can open the panel back up.
All right, you got it. Well, yeah, you're right.
Okay, so I believe that's false to take away their rights. I think there's a balanced way to handle that, because if we're talking about going back to those times where you took away their rights, and then when you did give women the option to say, I will do what I will, it got out of balance because they felt so restricted. So I don't think that it's a great idea to go back to the idea of restricting someone in order to get them to do what it is you want them to do.
Marie. Marie, hold on. I just want to make sure I understood what her original answer was. When we were talking about what Fancy said, when the EMP struck, did you or did you not agree with Fancy's answer?
I agreed with her answer.
So was
the
that
fact that we'll go back to the basics?
Did that not take away her rights to go to work, to focus on money, to focus on politics. That EMP did it for us. So because it was involuntary, it was right. And it was going to give us the results we needed because she was going to focus on family. That's what you said. But
So even with
Go ahead.
So even with that result of it being an EMT, correct? So now we're all in solitude. Now we're only home with our kids and our family, right? So we're also not thinking about the stress that can raise, because now you have to figure out a whole new parallel and dynamic of how you're going to operate. So what needs to happen is that woman has to learn her integration, because even with you having an EMP or you saying something else took away your rights, that woman has to find balance now, because now she has been taken out of something that she has been doing to learn something new. Now, restricting you is not just a way to make you do it, but it's also going to help you internalize and understand what needs to get done and find other routes of doing it. Not just, oh, I'm going to only do this thing. No. How can I now build? Because now an EMT is going to start something whole and new. So how can we build from here? What kind of a nation can I build from this point on? Restricting them now has them thinking about survival mode, right? As opposed to allowing for nature to take its course. You feel like women are the reason why everything is going down, kids are, being harmed and things like that. So that comes from a lack of integration. It's not just about women going to work and making money. That comes from a lack of mental stability, period. Not just in women. It's in people in general, but we haven't gotten down to the basis that we need to integrate, to use our left and right hemisphere of our brains to understand what we need to be doing first for self. Because what people don't talk about, and I'm going to say this from a personal standpoint, because I've been married for 11 and a half years and I've been a stay-at-home mom since my oldest daughter, who is 8, and I've been doing this. So what also happens to women who do stay at home, which is a beautiful thing to raise our children and to teach them up and to be the ones who protect them from certain things that come towards them or not have them exposed to certain things. What also happens is that woman also has to learn a balance between her doing all the things she needs to do for her family, but also integrating herself into those things so that she is capable, strong enough, and balanced enough to provide the right type of things into that family. So it is important that we also speak about the balance that needs to be had in women, as well as them understanding what their role is. And if we take away the idea and take away the right for them to learn that and understand that and be exposed to that. Now, what I will say is the exposure that they need is for more balanced individuals to be in their circumference, right? So that they can learn what that looks like. Half of them who are moms now don't understand what parenting truly looks like, don't understand what it means to be a woman or how you operate. So if we can put more of that and give more of those type of trainings and offer up some of that, I'll even say in educational trainings, and offer some of those life skills that they need to operate in that, they may sway that way. But it's not very much in these education systems or in what they're learning to become that.
I think we're missing the point. We're talking about a situation of a disaster where there's no firemen, there's no police, there's no military, there's no electrical grids, there's no running water, there's no construction workers. We're back to the base level of humanity is what the scenario was. And the question was, if we get there, which is a real scenario that could happen, what do you think the modern woman would do? Because her ingenuity and all that stuff that you're talking about from a psychological, whatever standpoint of view, we're talking about survival now. We're talking about having to find a way to survive. We're not talking about all this intellectual property now, because all that's out the window.
But that's not about intellectual property. She needs her mental, right? She needs to understand. So when you say you're surviving, right? Now you have to think of ways to get yourselves out of these situations or make them better or adapt to these situations, correct?
No, what I'm saying is that if there's no police department, if there's no army, there's no firemen, there's no one to protect you. You're by yourself now. You're back to where there's nothing restricting anyone from doing anything. And now these single mothers are by themselves. These women are by themselves. And now we're saying, what do we think women will do at that point in time? Will they be more submissive and run back to try to find a protector male? Or will they try to do the things that they're doing now?
Hey, listen, Dr. Sergi said, if it's the end, I don't want to be here anyway. Let me understand. Let me help y'all understand this. There are some women in the comments that said, I would rather lose my life than to stay home and focus on kids and family and the community.
Wow. Wow. See, wow. This is wait a minute. What is going on? What are we doing? We're literally forsaking what we were literally put here to do? What is going on?
I don't really think it's women being afraid of being mothers. I think
yes, it is. They're literally saying
I know. I'm saying it's another reason. I feel like a lot of women are just afraid of being submissive to a man, and I think
because they want control. Because women want more control than submissive. They want control, and I get it. I understand it.
It's that
was my reason for when I answered before. It's really
Francis, do you believe that every woman in the 1900s, early 1900s, late 1800s, all of them had a husband?
No.
Okay, then. So what are you talking about? It has nothing to do with being submissive to a man. There are
because if you marry
of women who had kids, husband died. He got hung.
No, I'm saying you talking about the EMP. We would be in families, men would be doing.
You know all this started from your answer, right?
No, I'm agreeing. I'm saying a lot of these women are responding this way because they're afraid of having to rely on a man.
You rely on a man every day. You just instead of them doing it for free, you got to pay them now.
What?
You got to pay a man to come and fix your yard and do your plumbing.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying a lot of women have a lot of underlying.
Yeah, I know. I was saying that to those
traumatic problems that's kind of causing that shift between the natural shift between a man.
Peter, who is next that needed to respond?
It's gonna be Chef Foxy, but I want to say something real quick. So, the EMP burst happened, right? Mm-hmm. You know what the majority of women that were strong and independent don't need no man gonna do? Play the Juan song. Play the Juan song. Play the Juan song.
The what song?
Play the Juan sound effect.
The wand?
Yeah, the magic wand. I need me a man. That's what they gonna think. I need me a man. That's exactly what they gonna do. Shoot, they gonna be like, I need me a man.
Hey, you know you got a point.
Just think about it, but just think about it.
Point.
We got to find out where to get water source at, where to get food from. Man, they be trying to grab and claw at man. They gonna be fighting each other just to get that last man standing. If there was one last man on earth, and it'd be like 20 women and one man. It would be world. It'd be World War Woman. That's what.
Can I ask you a question?
WWW.
Go ahead.
Do y'all think there is enough men out here like you? I see you guys talk about like go find a man, but do you think that there are actually males out here who actually know how to go find water and go grow food and do all those things as well?
They would have to look.
We're talking about the option for the women.
Got it. But the men would have to do exactly the same thing that the women are, and all men will not survive, and they ain't supposed to. That's how it is in the mammals. That's how it is with mammals. The strongest men will survive. Men are going to start getting back in tune with their natural state to go out and hunt and unalive and take and conquer. And a lot of men ain't gonna make it. But they ain't what's supposed to. How many times you go to a field full of cattle and you see a whole bunch of bulls? How many times have you went to a pride of lions and seen a whole bunch of dominant male lions? No. In every pack, there's usually only one dominant male. And then the rest of the younger males are coming up, making their way. And eventually they will have to stray away and go create their own pack. Right. And that's how you repopulate the world.
Right. But some men are going to be unaliving other men for their resources and all kind of stuff. Yep.
And their women.
Yep.
So it would behoove you
Strong enough
to be home.
It can't just be the men. The women, if the women have to be strong enough to also defend themselves too. So if we're talking about an EMP, we're talking about both of us being smart enough to do what's right, to follow the lead and know where to go and know how to get there. That's a team effort, right?
Let me ask you a question. Do you think a small, frail man is just going to be walking around in public, just in open spaces? Do you think that a small, very small statured man that's very weak and undeveloped, do you think he's just going to be walking down the middle of the street?
Maybe not. Probably have a weapon if he is, because he understands
if he got a weapon or not. Do you think it would be in his best interest to walk down the middle of the street, especially if he got a weapon? Because we're going to take it.
No, probably not in his best interest.
Okay, so guess what? If that's what a frail, small man would do, every fucking woman, he's stronger than you. Hell, I ain't gonna get a 15-year-old boy, he'll fuck most of y'all up.
Why you saying it like that, Saul? You stupid.
It's the truth, and I don't care about feelings. I go get a 13-year-old football player, he will fuck all y'all up. Y'all better realize what this world really is and take your glasses off, because this iPhone and this internet got you blind to the truth. I could set out a group of teenagers to come fuck a whole bunch of single women up, and they can be armed too. You see them downtown Atlanta every day. Y'all be in your car, be like, I ain't getting the fuck out of my car. Look at all them little niggas outside. Yeah, those gonna be the same little niggas running around the street with weapons, trying to steal and take. And it won't be until they see a group of men that will make them turn around. This is the truth. And if we can accept that the world and war could put you in a position which would unalive a lot of people, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to take the peaceful route, where you would just say, you know what, we're going to put rules in place to get our women to focus on what's more important, which is our future, and not stressing yourself, being overweight, and taking all type of medication for your mental state because you're trying to do too fucking much. Go ahead, Peter.
So it's Chef Foxy's turn, but I'm gonna say this. Just imagine this. Let's add this to it. We're so spoiled over here in the United States. We really are. Because imagine if the United States was a war zone. If another country was over here fighting a war in your backyard, and all you hear is pew-pews going off and explosions. Just imagine that. That happens in other countries. We go over there. We're just so protected over here that it doesn't happen on stateside.
That's Bankhead in Atlanta.
I go along with that. It's not really a war zone, but I get what you mean.
DC.
But go ahead, Chef Foxy.
I don't even know what I'm answering anymore at this point. What exactly am I answering? Because y'all have touched on 4 different topics within one topic.
Okay, I'll give
what
you
do
the
you want me to
question.
answer?
Okay, so just so I can get you up to speed, the conversation has migrated from 12 o'clock noon today. The initial conversation was about the love, respect, sacrifice, and service that the modern day woman has to money. And we compared those intangibles to how she actually gives those things to the community and her children. And we compared them using time and results. We have all came to the understanding that yes, the majority of modern women make the majority of decisions based off of their money and not their community and children. Okay, then we morphed, we transitioned, to ask, okay, what if the money and the love and the necessity for money didn't exist? And I gave everybody a scenario in where an EMP was an electronic magnetic pulse.
Yeah, I was here for that part. Yeah.
All right, to be dropped, and then we would lose the ability. We don't have a choice. We can't go get money. We can't go to work. We have to focus on our family. And everybody, 100% of people agreed in this panel that women would focus more on their kids and the family, and they would not have the stresses of the world and focusing on money and all these other toys and stuff that they want. Everybody agreed unanimously, right? So then I flipped it on them. I said, okay, then, if you believe that would happen by force with a war, what would be wrong with the peaceful way, not having people get unalived, and the government just go back to what it was at one point in time when women didn't have a choice? Women couldn't go to work. Women couldn't be involved in politics. Women couldn't be focused on, working up the corporate ladder. They were charged and required to focus on what America put, what was most important, the children and the community, where we were married more. We had less of our children dropping out of school, going into, facilities and running away from home. We had less divorces. We had less child pregnancy. The community was a lot better, right? So we had two individuals who disagreed. I went to the two individuals and I put them in a corner. I said, okay, tell me which one do you prefer for the community and the family? Do you prefer the two out of the two decisions that America's already made? Has the decision to restrict women's abilities and make them focus on the family and community with still the option to work, because women have always worked? Or option number B, let the women do as they wilt. And there was no question. There was no option for those who consider family to be primary. The primary reason why we do what we do. And they chose A. So now we're going back to everybody else, and you haven't had a chance to answer. The question is this: would women have more respect, sacrifice, and unconditional love and service to the community and their children if America was to go back to the days where women were restricted in what they could do on a daily basis when it came to work, politics, etc., and had to focus on family and community? True or false? Women would have no choice but to give more respect, sacrifice, unconditional love and service to the community if those restrictions were in place. True or false?
It's hard to answer a loaded question, true or false, because that is an extremely loaded question.
I know it's hard not to be biased because you are a woman. I understand that. But I'm going to ask you the same question I asked before. When it comes to family and community, which decision do you think was best for America? Because remember, America makes decisions based off of America, not its citizens. The betterment of the country, the betterment of the organization, right? Just like if you worked for a company who gave y'all all credit cards and 30% of you were abusing them, the company would decide to take the credit cards from all of you because a few are abusing it. So I'm going to ask you, which decision do you think was best for America's family? Decision A, restricting women to be focused on kids and community with the option to work, or option B, decision B, where women can do as they wilt? Which one was the best decision for America's children and family?
Saul, you're an asshole.
He really is. He is.
We all know
you really are an. Because my issue is not the fact that you're asking the question. My issue is that the fact that you're only restricting it to women. Because the reality of it is, when it comes to that EMP scenario, as what was stated earlier, most men would be just as fucked off as the women would. Because just because you running around here with dick and balls don't make you a man. One.
Jeff, we said
right. So to focus that only on women, if you're saying as a society, would we be better if an EMP was dropped and we, man
Chef,
and woman, were forced to focus on family? Yeah.
Yes. Pause. You're doing the same thing. I can tell your intelligence is present. I can hear it. I can feel it. However, what we're doing right now is we're having an intellectual war. Okay, and I am trying to. And in war, the definition of war is one entity trying to impose its will on another with direct and indirect fire. So what I am saying to you is this: I am not giving you any other option to answer this question. It is A or B. Which one do you? Which one do you?
I'm not in the military. I'm
it's opinionated. It can't be a wrong answer.
I'm following on how leadership.
Choose the best answer.
No, there definitely is a wrong answer. There definitely
because it's your.
But there is.
Welcome to my world, Jeff.
I can't. Like, I can't. My brain won't let me. I can't definitively just.
All right, I'm gonna say it one last time. I'm gonna give you one opportunity, one more opportunity. I've already got one no mas. I can keep collecting no mas. Listen, it's your opinion. Which decision do you think was the best decision for America's children and family? Option A, where women were restricted to focus on community and children with the option to work. Or option B, decision B, where women can do as they wilt. It's your opinion. Be honest.
I hate that question.
Hey, so when Chef finishes, I got a question for you and Peter.
No mas. I'm just. You're gonna have to take my no mas. I can't.
Can I say something real quick?
I get it.
Before Heavenly go? Can I say something before Heavenly go? If Chef's not finished, she can finish. But let me say something real quick. He's literally saying, restrict women access to certain things so they can focus more on family, children, and the community, or follow Satan's plan. He's literally saying that.
This is what I don't.
Because do what thy wilt is Satan's plan. Like,
and Peter,
it's a no-brainer.
What we have. That's literally what's going on. They're following Satan's plan. That's literally what we see.
Okay. I have a question, Peter and Saul. Say the president got on a thing, said, you know what? I've been looking at the numbers, because I have. And you know what? Before civil rights, the black family was married at a 74% rate. Before civil rights, black businesses, they weren't big black businesses, but they were trying. They had a local dentist. They had a local pharmacy. They were really tight. So I think the best thing for 13% of the population, so I can outvote you, I have more votes than you do, is I am going to take away all your civil rights. Are you willing to give me all your civil rights back? For family?
Leadership, you're for
no. I want to answer it.
Hold on. Righteous question. That's a righteous question.
Because that's not a correlation between civil rights. Maybe feminism, I say yeah.
No,
post-feminism,
people's rights.
I'm about to blow TikTok apart with my answer.
Oh,
go ahead, Saul. God,
you know me. I ain't running from shit. Ask me the goddamn question.
Question asked.
Lock them up. Because we had more sense when we came out of it. We learned that we needed to stick together. Maybe we need to relearn that goddamn lesson. You had thousands of black people die to give us the opportunity, and we are fucking it up. Fucking our children up. Fucking our communities up. Fucking our elders up. Lock us the fuck down. And give me the whip. I will beat you into submission. I will make you remember and admire freedom. I would love it. I will beat the block off of you. I will whip you until the whip breaks. You will pray to die.
Well, we won't have the whip, Saul. They will have the whip.
Hey, there was plenty of black people who helped.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Whoa.
You're going to a dark place. I can't go with you.
Oh Lord.
I can't go to this. I can't go to this dark place.
I mean, well,
You are going to this dark place, and I can no longer go with you, sir.
hold on.
This is where I get off the ride. This is where I get off the ride.
But hold on.
I get off the ride here. This is where I get off the ride.
Please stop. Hold on, Peter, please stop.
I'm going to allow everyone to speak.
Because I need to make sure I heard what the fuck I just heard. I heard
Let
what
me
you
say
said,
this
Peter.
too.
Please, you get off the ride here. Saul, I need to make sure I heard you say what the hell you just fucking said. Are you telling me if given the opportunity, you make your face big so I can look you in your eyeballs?
Yeah, let me figure this out. Shit. God damn it.
There we go. You there.
You can ride too.
What the fuck?
I'm about to turn my camera on because I'm going to double down on some of what he said. This anarchy that we got going on right here, if we had to pick A or B, we need to go back. This is out of control. The current trajectory.
Can you ask that question again, please? Because I must have missed a part of it. I had to. Please, can you ask that question again?
Ask the question.
I will happily ask again. The concept is, if the president got on there and Congress said, you know what, we've been doing our research and we looked at the numbers. And what we found out is before we gave y'all civil rights, before we gave y'all the freedoms that you have now, you were married at a higher rate, 73 or 74%. You had more black businesses. You had more black communities. And so what we're going to do for you, because y'all too silly to take care of yourself, we're going to take away all your rights again. And you will be happier, more family oriented, and more communities because we're going to not give you any choice.
Y'all heard my answer. If I need to repeat it, I'll say it again. I'm the first one that's voting yes. Because we are out of control.
I have a question.
But hold on, Saul. I'm with you. Because if I look at what we're currently what's currently going on and the current trajectory, it's only going to get worse. So if that was the only option to get back in order, I vote with Saul.
No one here would give up. If people were telling you to where you could and could not go, who you could procreate with, who
that's extreme.
But you can leave, nigga. We can leave.
No, but that's the reality of it. I don't think y'all understand what the fuck y'all are agreeing to. That's the reality of it. You're literally being told every part and aspect of your life.
Jeff, what do you think I decided when I had the ability to go to college on a free on a free free ride in basketball, football, track? I could have went and did whatever the fuck I wanted to do. I voluntarily raised my hand and went into the worst organization in the military. The hardest, the most demanding boot camp was a whole month longer than the Army. The worst. They treated you the worst. They were the meanest. I volunteered for that. I wanted it. I needed it. I'm not you. I'm not the local guys and shit that y'all used to dealing with. I want the best training. If I'm going to be prepared to war, I want to be with the best. So if that means 3 months, 3 years, 22 years of pain, so be it.
So what was just quoted earlier with regards to the Plan B, the deletions, and the foster care? I think that was like, what was it again?
15 million Plan Bs, between 300 and 400,000 foster care. What was your other question, beloved?
The deletions, the abortions.
175,000 abortions.
So when we total those numbers up.
This is from Black Chicago. He said, integration ruined Black pride.
I agree.
Saying though, beloved, why are we going back to slavery though? I keep
That's what I'm
you
saying.
keep
Like, there
going
was
to
no other stop.
leadership.
Just
Always
because
hold on.
he's
Leadership
talking.
always goes back to the extreme.
I didn't
And
go
then
Right,
Saul,
because
because
he's
Saul,
saying taking
hold,
away people's
hold
rights.
on,
Yeah.
hold on, hold
Yeah.
on, hold on,
That was extreme. Go ahead.
hold on. See the principle. Because Saul is trying to hold y'all to answering the question principle, Saul took that back in the corner and raised you. I'm gonna answer that question. Now, me, myself personally, I don't see any correlation to the question. We're segregated, right? Let's go back to segregation. Maybe that would be a more correlation to what we were saying.
I can work with
But
that,
now,
yeah.
now we're
Slavery?
talking about slavery and whips and chains. See, that's a whole nother field. But because Saul stands on principle and answering the question, he say, okay, you gonna back me in the corner to something that don't even matter to what I was saying? Okay, I'm gonna answer it. And so now Saul looking crazy because your boy Peter that got off that ride before he even answered. Before he was finished answering. But what I'm gonna say to you, the better correlation would be this. Will be segregation maybe, and with modification of some rights that we do have and some rights we don't have. Maybe that, and I can co-sign that, because just like Dr. Martin Luther King said, segregation, he put us in the wrong path. He should have kept us where we had our own and where we were able to build with each other so we could become strong enough. But I think the powers that be saw segregation being a problem, because if we got too strong, then we'll be too much of a problem. So they need to divide and conquer us by letting us integrate and come into with everybody else. So, but the slavery thing, and I kept saying it this whole time, why y'all keep going back to the Handmaid's Tale and slavery? It doesn't correlate.
Hey, we got to get heavenly in here too.
It correlates because it's the same slope, Peter.
Slavery did though.
Say they just say, you know what? You guys are unaliving each other too much. So as of
It's not the
tomorrow,
same slope.
listen to me.
It's not the same slope.
Listen to me. As of tomorrow, nobody black can own a firearm. We're taking away all your firearms because y'all killing each other too much. Y'all don't know how to handle the right to own your Second Amendment right. You no longer have it.
Hey,
You up for that?
leadership.
But that's,
Hey, listen,
no,
you
that's
already know my
actually
answer.
illegal firearms. But we're not going to see, you're
again,
using the
you have
wrong
no- you
correlation.
don't have it-
It's actually illegal firearms. And
But
so I
when-
agree with
when
taking
were
away
women-
illegal firearms.
Hey,
Yes.
hold on, y'all. Hold
So-
on. Listen.
Lord.
Right.
Was there ever a time in the United States where women were treated like slaves?
When they were slaves, yes.
No. I'm talking about all women. Everybody was free. We're not talking about slavery. I'm talking about when women were restricted to certain things that men had.
Yes.
Women were women treated like slaves.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. When they couldn't vote. When they
Okay, so hold on. Not having the ability to do something, are you telling me that forces you to do something else? I can't force you to work. I can't force you to have babies. I can't force you to have sex with somebody you don't want to have sex with. That's a slave. Me restricting you the ability, y'all act like it doesn't still happen today. Go ahead and go get a felony. Go get a felony and see how many restrictions they put on your ass.
But
Go
you
do
got the
something.
felony.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is,
Right.
excuse me. What I'm saying is a restriction does not force you to do something you don't want to do. What it does is it prevents you from doing something you might want to do. Just because you want to participate in the KKK meeting, you ain't white, so you can't go. It's not saying you got to go do something else. You just can't be part of that. Your job is to go be with your people and do what you can do. You can't be with them, okay? You can't be with this motorcycle club. You don't even have a motorcycle. It's not making you do something you don't want to do. It's preventing you from doing something that you want to do.
So
That's all a restriction is.
I'll accept that, and I'll say this: you go set up Saw Country. No, wait, let me finish. And then you have those rules, and what I guarantee you'll have is 95% men and 5% women.
Well, I tell you right now.
And see how long the race survives.
I tell you this.
And no, hold on, stop, stop.
Let me respond.
Hold on, Saul. No,
respond.
I'm gonna raise him.
You're
Hold
not
on.
gonna steal my thunder.
Wait, no. I'm not gonna steal your thunder. I'm just gonna say something. Let me just say something. And leadership, and then we'll have two different what's the names? Two different sections of the country. And I promise you, as soon as the EMP hit, all the women will be rushing trying to come back into Saul country.
All right. What I was gonna say is this. Leadership.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about a scenario that already happened. This is not something we made up. This is something that already happened. If I was just to show you the data and not show you the laws, and I said, hey, pick which time you would like to raise your family, you would voluntarily take your family back to that time. The only reason why you're going against it is because of the laws and the sounding of those laws. But if I just showed you the results, in any type of investment, you don't give a damn about how it's done. You give a damn about what it's going to net you. Hell, most people don't even know how the stock market truly works. But if I am an investor and I say, hey, if you put your money in this, you're going to quadruple your money in 90 days. You don't give a damn how. You're going to put it in there because that's a better investment. But if I tell you, if you put your money over here, you have a 70% chance of taking a loss. You don't give a damn how. You're not going to put your money over there. And you're not going to put your family in a date and time where you could have a 70% chance of losing it because of the environment. So I think we're getting caught up on a lot of feelings instead of just focusing on the facts.
You have the option of leaving. You also have the option of leaving. You don't have to stay.
I'm focusing on all the facts. And
so if we just go off the facts, damn how it makes people feel. I asked you this question and you reluctantly answered. You gave me an answer, but we both obviously know what the answer was. And just because it affects our daughters and our mothers' feelings does not mean that that's what's going to make a good leader make the right decision, because leaders do not allow their emotions to dictate their actions. We make the best decision regardless of how it makes people feel.
I agree.
And if I tell all the females, you are not allowed to go out in town and drink. The men can, but you can't. Because we're in a country where women get stoned if they say the wrong thing. If they walk outside without their hair covered. I'm protecting you from yourself. And you as my commanding officer would back me 100%.
I don't have daughters, but I have nieces. And I have women that I care about. I cannot stand, and I did not fight for some man to say, you can't vote, you can't work, you can't leave the house unless I tell you to. I will never be aligned with that. I can go out and I could make 7 figures.
What's the parameters?
No, let me finish.
That's weird.
Let me finish. No, because that's what you're saying. I mean, you clearly have said...
You're changing the question to answer it how you want to.
You clearly said women can work, but only in somebody else's house. So I'm not changing the parameters. I'm not a dumb guy. I listen well. And you say that they're not the same. You are taking away another human being's rights to say, I'm protecting you. Do your history. So has said every fucking dictator in history. I am not there. I'm not aligned. I can't buy on it. I'll get it. No way. No fucking how.
I concur with your feelings and how we all don't want this for our women and our daughters and our nieces. I have daughters too.
Saul, you sound muffled, man. You sound muffled.
Okay, let me.
Must be an iPhone. It's all right.
No, I put on my headset. Listen, I concur. I have daughters. I don't want them to be in that situation or circumstance either. I would love for my daughters to be able to do as they wish, move about the country, work in any type of organization, be able to vote and be part of politics if they wish. I would love for my daughters to do that. I want that for my daughters. However, comma, pause. If we're all going to be up here and be open and honest, and we answer the question with logic, statistics, facts, and data, you cannot deny that the country was a better place for our children and our community when our women were restricted. No ifs, no ands, no buts.
So check your cash app.
My only question is, guys, I just don't understand why women getting jobs really caused this big of a shift. Like, besides,
Fairy, you the one gave us the answer.
Fancy. We'll get back to that, but it's Heavenly Stern. I'm going to answer that question, but hold that question. Go to Heavenly. We'll say that we're gonna. I'm gonna tell you that it contributes. So
This is from Black Chicago. He said, gun laws are ineffective against criminals.
This is true.
Appreciate you, Black Chicago.
Go ahead, Heavenly, and hold that question, Fancy.
Okay, good evening. Hey, Saul, simplify.
Rah.
Okay, I had to serve with you 1985 to 1991, and you put a good question out here to the community. Now, because of me serving and being in that service and being a Navy and then going over to Marine Corps, I have to say, I'm looking at certain things. On one that maybe the civilians might have seen was the Woman King, and seeing that movie and understanding the elite force of the military warrior women that had to be led and do certain things. Then now also you hit with this civilian knows about handmaiden thing, where you got to choose a side. Are you going to be a maiden? Are you going to be a handmaid? Are you going to be a mother? Are you going to be this? Are you going to be that? That's kind of what you putting it like, that the women are the problem. But I want to say it's not the women being the problem. It's the women being centered into a community to be more protected. Because me, myself, if that happened, I'm an alpha female. I'm a high value woman. I'm about to find a high value man that got it together. And you're right. Let us go back to that time and start getting rid of these simps and these peons and all these little hoodlums and all this stuff. Yeah, it was a better time. Yeah, it was a better time. Hello. Because I know when they tried to send me to a white school from my black school, I said, I ain't going. I'm protesting and I'm gonna stay right here in 6th grade. So if we were just coming out, let's say this, we ain't even 100 years away from when women got the right to vote. Look at that 100 years. Where have we gone with that? What has happened? We really have to think about this. Like, you want to make the analogy about the lion, okay? We know good and well that the lion don't hunt. He's the procreator mostly in there, but because of his masculine testosterone, his presence tells other male lions, you ain't coming over here. You ain't coming over here. But let that male lion become insufficient for that pride. The whole pride of women are getting rid of that male lion. So you got to know that it's an equal side of both that needs to be women. So yeah, EMP goes off. I'm holding ground, waiting for my alpha male to come in here and be like, come on, we got this. I got your back. Because while you standing there with your arms up, I'm behind you with my hand in the back for the pew-pew to help do this stuff. I've been overseas in Afghanistan and stuff. And they go, oh, you get killed by a woman, you won't go to heaven. They're not scared of that. That's a myth. You got women in hijabs up there with the AKs and everything going and doing this. The women are, no, not showing your ankles and stuff. That's for the protection, for you to stand out and say you belong to this group of men. That is what that's for. So us African-American women and women of color, we're looking at other women of color that's coming from these foreign countries, and they're more submissive to their men. They're more dainty to their men. They're more healthy to their men. Why? Because they men, they demand, if I'm at home, I'm not doing this. You're going to go do this. My money is my money, and you're going to go work, and you're going to come in here because I'm doing a whole lot. That if you had to hire a maid, Molly maid, domestic, engineer, cleaner, a nursemaid, and all that, what you going to be paying? Because that's what happened. They put us in the workforce to distract the black man and make him feel less. They paid a black woman more and won't even hire the black man for the same job. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
In the land that they describe, you'd have never got the opportunity to serve. You'd have never got the opportunity to travel. You'd have been at home. Is that?
Yeah, and I'm happy with that because
That's not the question.
My military started at home.
Right. I think we're moving. See, here's the thing. I get all that, and I'm so happy that shout out to all those in the military.
Nigga, are you pissing?
No, I was filling up my water bottle.
Oh, dear. Right, but I think we moved the goalpost, right? Because I'm so confused because I think we were talking about, I think the whole point he was saying is the community better as a whole once we were given the right to make all the choices we want. And look at where we are. I think we keep moving the goalposts because we're talking about being able to vote and things like that being taken away. Or I don't even know. But the point is, are we better as a community since we got these liberties? That's the question.
Are we better since we got these liberties?
We moved the goalposts.
Hey, let's get hold on. I like that question. Let's answer that question, starting at the very top with Fancy, going to leadership all the way down to Chef. Are we better as a community when it comes to our children and family now after 100 years later, women have gotten the right to do whatever they want? Are we better? Fancy.
Didn't I answer this already?
She said, yes. Go ahead, Fancy. Tell them again.
I answered this already. I said no.
Okay. No, we got new people here. That's why we're going over it again. All right. Leadership.
I'm not getting set up. I can see the chess moves 3 moves ahead. I am not getting set up. So I'm going to go with
going on.
We were technically better when none of us had rights and we had nothing to do but work and invest in our women and invest in our family. So let's take it all the way.
That's not one of the options.
Shit.
You can't make up a answer C. It's A and B.
I'll pass.
Yes or no? Okay, he passes. Beloved.
I say no. No.
We're no better. Okay, Clapback says no. Peter.
I got the little one on me trying to wrestle me down. Hold on.
Okay, Heavenly. We are better as a community when it comes to our family and children now that women have all the rights 100 years later. Are we better or not?
We're not better. We're not better.
Marie.
I'm going with leadership.
Chef Foxy, are we better?
Leadership.
Oh my God.
Right here. See, everybody knows the truth, but they don't want to say it. That's what's crazy.
It's not about
it is not better. We know that it's
No.
We had better marriages when none of us had rights.
No.
That's actually the truth.
That's what you can't do. That's what you're not going to do, at least not for me. It's not about knowing what's right and what's wrong. You are asking a multi-level question and only giving me a yes or no, true or false option, and it's just not that. It's not that black and white. It's just not.
Better as a community 100 years later, yes or no? It's not multi-level.
And what leadership said was, we were better when none of us had rights.
Well, that's why he backed out because.
Okay, let me switch the question up. I'm gonna switch it to men. Ladies, and I want the ladies only to answer this question. Were black men marrying their black woman and only date black women at a higher rate and creating families in the black community prior to women being able to enter into the workforce.
They didn't have a choice. It was against the law not to.
Ma'am, they didn't have to marry nobody.
Right, but if they were gonna marry, it had to be a black woman. So that question still, Saul, I get where you're going with it.
They could have married a Hispanic woman. They could have married a Hispanic woman.
That's what I'm saying. What is wrong? Why can't we answer the question? There's all kind of what was it? I think
plenty of black men married Hispanic women.
Exactly.
She didn't have to marry a black woman.
But
she
I
just
feel
could marry
like
white women.
it's other outside influences other than women working.
Hey, can we get back to the question?
Okay.
The question was, prior to women entering into the workforce and taking on positions in Congress and in the hospital as doctors and nurses and being away from the home and the community and children, were black men marrying women, they're black women, at a higher rate? It's a simple question. It's yes or no.
Yes.
These like late 60s, 70s, is that the time period we're talking about?
No, we're talking early 1900s, late 1800s.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Heavenly.
Yes.
Marie.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, Chef.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Yeah.
That question, yes.
So, with that being said,
Maria said, I know speak no English. She said, I speak no English. She said, I know black. I know black.
That's fine. That's fine.
With that answer, I want to hear this one.
Hold on. So it was very easier. It was a lot easier for me to get answers when it pertained to men and what they were doing. Okay, here's the same question. Were women focusing more on children in the community prior to being entered into the workforce?
Yes.
Yes.
Heavily.
Yes, they were.
Marie.
Yes. Somebody.
Chef. So, since we are able to answer questions now in a simpler form, and we all agreed that women focus more on the children in the community prior to being entering into the workforce, how then can you argue the fact when we say we were a better community prior to women entering into the workforce? Prior to women getting the rights to go out and vote and be in Congress and deal with the state and be in the workforce. Why is it that if I separate it and I break the question down, you can answer it easily, but then when I combine it all into one question, we get gang goofy?
Ooh, pick me. I know the answer. Pick me. I know the answer.
In reply to that, can I ask a question? Because you say that, right? So if this was something that women back in those days, before they got to the workforce, wanted to do, right? Completely, wholeheartedly, and this was just the love of their lives for them to do it. Don't you think that if they had that option, if they weren't being forced into forced marriages or some of them getting beat up by some of their husbands, being cheated on, if they ultimately had the complete rights to stay there, why didn't they stay there and do that? There was obviously some friction there for them to want to go into the workforce, for them to want to fight for their rights. So I don't think that's a balanced way of doing it. That's my only thing.
They believe the YT woman.
They were tricked again.
They were tricked by the YT woman.
There was a T. There's a T. If you go, hold on, everybody. Hold on. There, if you go to www.thelordnightshop.com and you go to the clapback collection, there's a T-shirt says, "We've been tricked again." Go get that shirt, sis. Put it on, and you'll have your answer.
They don't remember.
But I know the answer. But I know the answer to the question that you asked. I think they don't want to look like they have internalized misogyny. That's why they can't answer that question.
No,
And no, let me say this. We got pushed into the workforce because of the war. The white women used the black women to help their movement for women's rights to get approved because France had got theirs before we did in France. So they took these foreign national women that came over here and used the black woman to say, wouldn't y'all want to have rights like we have rights? Because a white woman had more rights and privileges over a black woman.
Sis, why you said no to what I'm saying? I was answering Saul's question, not her question.
Oh. No.
Well, ma'am, hold on, ma'am. Let me respond to what you just said, ma'am. Nobody on here ever discussed how we got here. I don't care how we got here. I just asked simply which results were better for the black community and its children. I don't care how we got here.
Back to what we were. How about that?
What I'm asking you is one simple question. Y'all are making it more difficult than I am.
You gave us a loaded question.
No, I did not. I made it simple as fuck. Here it is.
Yeah, you did.
And I'll do it again.
Saying, if I answered it and I said yes, I would accept that.
So basically, sir, you're saying, stop. So basically, you're saying if a woman's at work and her husband's at work, who's raising the children or who's catering to the community?
Our communities are empty 10 hours a day. Out of every day, our entire community is empty. We got babies sitting at the house by themselves, and we know it. If I was to send DHS, if I was to send Department of Human Services into every project of America and do a sting, how many kids would we have been yanked out that motherfucker because they've been sitting in the house by themselves all day, under fucking 6 and 7 years old? What if I went and started my own team and got government funding to go through the houses of black neighborhoods and knock on the door at motherfucking 10 o'clock in the morning during the summertime? How many goddamn kids am I gonna find in that motherfucker by themselves?
Okay, with that passion, you're right.
So what I'm saying is, when mama was home and she was rocking her little ass to the beat of whatever record she was playing, focusing on good meals to prepare for her children, focusing on the development of her children and passing down traditions and making sure that she pushed out good citizens to go out into the community and make it better, because that's all she had to do.
So basically, you're saying women are needed.
No,
100%.
They're needed to fulfill their motherly
100%
roles.
I agree with you saying that, but not taking away their rights and going back to do that. I think there are other ways that we can do that. You are 100% right about what you're saying, that it is more important for a woman to be home with her kids. But there are other ways to get there. And that's what we need to discuss is how do we get there? We keep talking about going back to this. How do we get there?
Give us another way. How do we get there?
So how about we form some programs that teach these?
No, you're throwing out. He gave us suggestions, but not. Hold on, sis, Maria. Maria. See, what we tend to do on these panels is we come up with solutions all the time.
Hey, it's 7 o'clock, y'all. I'm supposed to be at 250,000 likes. Tap the screen. I'm supposed to be at 250. Y'all tap the screen, y'all.
Tap the screen. Now, Maria, we come up with a lot of different solutions that not going backwards. This is just a hypothetical going backwards, right? We come up with a lot of solutions, and time after time, time after time, women come up here and say, no, we ain't doing that, and we turn it down, and then we say, sis, you got a better suggestion? Well, we got to come up with something. What you mean? We came up with something, and you threw it down. We say marry before you carry. Hold on.
Can I say this right quick?
Hold on. Peter making a good point. Hold on. Let Peter finish his point. Go ahead.
We say marry before you carry, and we say, oh no, what you talking about? We can do what we want. We got autonomy to make bad decisions. Okay. We say, well, at least know if the man has a job first before you say that. No, you got to talk to him about a job. Oh, we say, okay, all right. How about this? If you don't want marriage, right? Don't stop having sex with people. Oh, well, we can do whatever. It's our body, our choice. We can have sex with. Okay, all right. Well, can we? Okay. Well, can you at least wear a condom? Well, see, you don't understand. You know, we can do whatever we want, as long as we be safe and we get tested every 3 months. And, well, okay. You see what I'm saying? We give a lot of solutions, but it keeps getting thrown down. How about this? How about this? How about this, sis? How about we try some of these new solutions that we coming up with, which is actually old, which is actually old solutions, like marry before you carry. That was an old trope that we used to hear back in the day. And how about we implement that into our neighborhoods? Stop when we say stop giving access to Pookie and Ray Ray. Close your legs. Show some discipline. We tell men, hey, have some dick discipline. Stop going around and laying down with women. We don't say, guys don't be like, oh, how dare you, Peter? We gonna lay with as many women as we like to. No, they be like, you know what? We need to stop centering women. We need to focus on purpose. So when we do find the right woman, we can have a family. That's what we get from the man's side. But as soon as we say, hey, ladies, hey, how? When we say to ladies, this is what you could do, sis. See, a lot of this stuff, we should just put it in raps. Because if we put it in raps, it might be well received. Because they be calling you B's, H's, and all kind of stuff in raps. And y'all be like, ooh, girl, that's my song. And I understand that the beat is nice. Because I be bopping the head to beat. I just don't like the lyrics. But what I'm saying is when we say, ladies, this is what you can do. You can, you can show some chastity. Don't give access to men without marriage and all that kind of stuff. Then now you got a pushback from women and say, oh, we could do what we want, blah, 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 blah. That's not the problem. See, that ain't the problem. Us opening our legs and having babies ain't the problem. It's the men just, you got to tell these men to wrap it up because we keep sleeping over these penises when we walk down the road and end up pregnant. See, that's what we get from the ladies. And guess what happens? It becomes an 8 to 10 hour live trying to convince ladies what we just convinced the men in 20 minutes.
So can I say this? You're absolutely right? So here's the thing, because I currently run a wives club group right now where I host workshops every week. I'm on virtual with them every Tuesday and every Thursday, and we do all 8 of dimensions of wellness with them every week in our workshops, and we're getting through to these women. So when you talk about doing this on this live, yeah, maybe it's not the right dialogue to have that up here. But if we're talking about getting into our communities, I get into my communities. I go to the shelters, I go to the jails, I speak to the women who are about to get out of jail to help them be more stable and balanced, so when they get out, they're making better decisions. I'm going into the shelter to speak to the ladies. Let's not get back to this place where you're in a shelter trying to find, shelter for you and your kids again. What can we do? What steps can we take? So these are the things that we do have to do for these women to help them understand these things as well. We're just talking about telling them what to do, but how about we give them the tools? Some of them are not emotionally stable, so how about we explain to them what emotional stability looks like? How about we give them these things?
Ma'am, this is the host. Let me tell you something. I want you to imagine, just for a second, I want you to imagine the Atlantic Ocean from the shores of Miami to the shores of Dominican Republic. I want you to imagine that body of water. And I also want you to imagine what it looks like when it's about to rain and the first drop of water hits that ocean. That's your contribution to the Black community.
We gotta start.
Hold on, let me finish. You are a drop of an ocean. I appreciate it. And you did add to it. That one drop of water added to the ocean's overall mass. However, it will never be a significant enough water to eliminate the salt. The only way, go ahead, leadership.
I think I have a proposal I think you would agree with in a part of Sawland, that to be a part of Sawland, all men go through boot camp. Because, we don't have the men to be able to handle the world that you and Peter are describing. Because we can't have men talking about 50-50 and saying and saying the wife be home. We can't have men. And so we got to get rid of all the men distractions too. I say PlayStation 5s, all Call of Duty, all that bullshit goes away. that men don't spend more than 30 minutes on any fucking app. That if you have 5 hours to be on the app, you have 5 hours to be out there trying to answer your phone. So in this scenario, if I think you align that it's not, we don't have I'm not made of what my great grandfather was made of. My great grandfather went out, was a sharecropper, and he somehow secured 150 acres of land that he has kept passing down through this family. I don't know how he did it. So we got to go through some training. We got to go through we have to be the men to be able to handle a scenario like that, right? What do you think,
sir, let me ask you a question. And I want you to tell me whether or not you believe this to be true. Because this is something I used to say to my sergeants and staff NCOs. Your Marines' quality will only be what you demanded. Your Marines will the quality of Marines will only be what you require it to be. The bar has to be set by you.
Agreed.
So society, your men will only be what you require them to be. And right now you require them to know how to operate the internet. You require them to be able to identify their emotions. You require your men to be peaceful. You require your men to be able to have discernment. Nothing. You don't require anything that is tangible. It's just a whole bunch of intangible things. See, when this happens, men will be required to get up, get out, and go get something because they can't find women to depend on. Can't sit on mama's couch no more. You can't have mama buy you everything no more. As a young boy, you're going to learn real quick. I got to go work to help mama. That's why we got so many young boys running to the drug game, because it doesn't require an age. It doesn't require you to graduate from any school. The drug game is open and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And all black men are running to it.
But the thing is, see, and I understand, trust me, I understand what these women are saying, because we're actually having a totally different conversation than we started in the beginning. Because in Saul Land, the whole premise of what we were talking about is totally away from what we're talking about. Because remember, leadership, when you answered the question in the beginning, you said that we were going back to survival. And we've added so many caveats to this to get to where we're talking about rights, where we're talking about voting, we're talking about...
We have a cash app from Black Chicago. He said, men can be 100% providers if women can be on a budget.
Well, and it doesn't even have to deal with the budget again, because when we started the original conversation, it got so emotional because it was difficult for the women to fathom or even contemplate a world in which they would have to digress and go back under certain rules and regulations because of the scenario that you made. Now, as we move on and we keep adding to it, then the argument starts sounding more reasonable from the woman's standpoint of view. But when we go back to the original EMP situation, and we're talking about, again, total destruction, and we're back to a survivalist mode, all these things we're talking about doesn't matter, because it's going to go to the survival of the fittest. And the original question was, in that scenario, what are women going to do? Are they going to sit at home by themselves, or are they going to go out and try to find a man?
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Clap?
Yes, sir.
Are you saying, to an extent, women take men for granted and what we do, the niceties that we do in society to keep them safe?
Right, and that's why they will say, because the construct of the way the world is safe now, they really believe that if Thanos snapped his finger and we were back to a survivalist mode, majority of the women think that they have enough intuition to understand how to survive. And even from a man's standpoint of view, we've been so sheltered. You know, you got a lot of soft boys ain't willing to go out and gut a deer or have to decide to, because they hungry, that they will eat something that they normally wouldn't eat. Being in situations where they haven't eaten for days and a rat runs across their feet and they got to decide whether or not they're going to unalive that rat and eat it for survival. We're talking about a whole different scenario now. And so that's why I understand what the women are saying. But if we keep it back to what we were talking about in the original state, that we're going back to a time where things are survival, the conversation is very easy. It's very easy at that point in time.
I don't.
So I have a question.
Hold on, we got a new panelist. Let's introduce them real quick.
Okay.
Hello, Z.
How you doing? Semper Fi, brother.
Ra. Okay,
Hey, so I just want to say, right?
Go ahead.
I think a lot of this, right, is kind of like we are trying to put ourselves in their own shoes and see their perspective, like if their struggles are going to be different than ours, right? I think it's hard to tell like a black woman that all you're going to amount to in life is being a mother. Because I feel like when you're saying a lot of these things, that's what it's going to come off as. So when you're saying that, like, yeah, it's going to like not like, yeah, like it's going to like, it may make sense, but I don't think that's also the right thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there isn't a problem with wanting to go 50-50 with your girl if you're both putting into your kid at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny what you said. However, I have to go off of the majority. What you're talking about is a minority. There's a minority group of people where a woman and a man can work together equally and maintain that relationship, and both people not disrespect each other and then blow it up and have the children suffer. That is not.
Go ahead. My fault.
Yeah, I was going to say that is not the majority of the outcomes of those situations. Thousands and thousands of people have tried. Very few percentage of them have succeeded. So we are at a almost 75% rate of divorces led by women.
Agree. So I understand.
And the reason, what do you think is the number one determining factor of that woman making the decision to leave the man and take away the children? If something in her she did not have access to or could get access to as a single mother, how many women would decide to focus and stay and fight for their relationship and their family if they did not have access to money?
Say that one more time for me.
What do you think the percentage of divorces would be led by women if they did not have access to money to be able to fund that divorce and be able to support those children on her own?
I mean, I can't give you a number for that.
No, just your opinion. Because right now it's 74%. 74% of the divorces. Leadership, check me if I'm wrong. I'm not around my computer. It's almost 75% of divorces are filed by women.
Definitely, yeah.
So if they did not have the court system that says, yeah, if you don't have the money, we'll get it to you. We'll get it to you from the man. And not only that, we'll actually give you extra money from the state to support your decision to break up your family without there being infidelity, without there being any type of reason of DV or anything like that, just irreconcilable differences.
I definitely think there would still be a small percentage. It would definitely be a lot less, right?
Got it.
I can't give you an exact number, obviously, right?
Okay.
But at the same point, though, right? If you're saying that, like, if the only reason why she is there is to be financially stable, don't you think she's really in love with your money and not you as a person?
She will always be in love with your provision, sir.
I mean, I feel like if we're having this hypothetical of like,
if there was no such thing as money, women are going to pick you based off of your ability to provide. Don't get it twisted. Get over yourself. Your dick ain't it, sir.
For the most part, yeah, I agree with you. Like, you're always going to look for something that someone can provide for you. I completely agree with that.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you over there and you pretty boy Floyd and I'm over here and I'm the ugliest nigga on the block, if I own land, houses, and cars and I got cattle and food, she don't give a fuck about your pretty face. She is going to walk over and get on my land and nest in my house. Look at some of the husbands back in the days when the pictures was black and white. Them niggas was gross.
Agreed.
Them motherfuckers look like they drug their face to work and drug it home because she wasn't picking men based off of their looks.
So yeah, and like with this, like if women aren't able to like work or do anything, like yeah, they're going to pick like the best provider, but that thought process isn't there anymore. Will they still be picking off of people off of like the provisions for them? If you don't need someone to provide for
Sir,
you,
that alone is allowing women to make bad decisions in selecting men.
Is that really a bad decision though?
Okay, to select a man that ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. Yes.
I mean, obviously, I don't think you should get with someone who like doesn't have a pot to piss.
But that's who's getting selected. Let me ask you a question, sir. Two groups: Group A, Group B. Group A, scammers, rappers, drug dealers, bikers, individuals in and out of prison, in and out of felonies, in and out of court with felonies. Group B, men who have respectable lives, who abide by the law, who have jobs that are going to result in retirement insurance and are focused on purpose. Which groups are producing the most children? Group A or Group B?
Group A.
Okay, so if women did not have access to money, do you think they would still be making those same bad decisions to fuck Group A?
I don't think that's off of the like.
Do you believe that women would make the bad decisions to give access to their bodies to reckless men who are going to leave them stranded with a child if they do not have access to government funding and the ability to go to the court and force money out of that man's pocket?
I'm going to concede and say yes, but I'm going to concede and say yes because it's not off of them being able to provide, but their social and economic status. As the Black community, we do kind of favor people who are quote unquote in the streets, especially at a younger age. If we're being honest about the situation, right? So when we have that situation and we look at these people in that light, we do think of them as a popular person, as someone who's at that level. If we change that thought process, then that will not be there no more.
Let me ask you a question. If you was able to give your child a income, let's say you gave your child $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
You put $50,000 in their bank account on January 1st, right? Would your child make sound decisions with that money?
Without me teaching him? No.
Would your child be a little bit more disrespectful?
I can't sit here and say yes. I think that's
the majority of children.
I really can't sit here and just say yes. Like
what makes a child be respectful?
Giving them that respect and teaching them what respect is, I feel like.
No. How do you punish a child when they choose to be disrespectful to make them learn the lessons not to be disrespectful?
Taking things away from them, I would say.
Exactly. If I got $50,000, you can't take shit from me. You can take away my Xbox, I go buy another one. You take away my shoes, I go buy some more. I can go buy my own place. The reason why you can punish children is because you have control of your children. And that's how you can teach them, because they are in a controlled environment. Now you are seeing a display of a multitude of childish women with access to money. And they are making childish decisions with their body and their money. Just like there are a lot of men, adult males, who are doing the exact same thing. Unfortunately, the good thing is males can't give birth.
So let me ask you a
question. Because if males could give birth, we'd be in a worse situation.
Do you think that's
y'all even stupider?
Do you think that's correlation or causation? Because they're two different things.
Causation.
I don't think that's causation at all. I think it's more so correlation. The reason why I think it's correlation is because they were oppressed for so long that now they have this new sense of freedom.
These people don't remember none of that.
But like, just so like, because they don't remember that, like, doesn't mean that like
they weren't a part of it. This nation of women that is alive, every woman that is living right now has been privileged and spoiled the majority of her life.
I can't sit here and say that. Like,
I can care less what you say. I've been on Earth for 46 years.
Okay, and I hear you on that, right? I think it's kind of hard to compare, you know what I'm saying, different time periods the way we're comparing them. Like, they're two completely different scenarios that are coming, like, in these, like situations. Whereas, like, Black women back in the day couldn't own a bank account, so they literally needed to be married to a man.
Keep bringing that up. No one on this panel, I'm the oldest one here. Haha, leadership, I'm older than you. But anyway, no one on this panel knows that oppression. We've all been able to have bank accounts. So why are we still
So the reason
no,
I got you. I'm gonna tell you why I keep bringing it up, right?
I don't feel like I've been oppressed ever in my life.
We keep teaching to our children.
You fancy? Thank you, Fancy.
Go ahead, Z.
So a lot of these things that like, even though like they did happen in the past and we did not live by them, they still get brought over to our generations.
How they get brought over? You haven't experienced it.
My mother, wait, let me say this. One of the things my mother passed away a few years ago. She was 80 years old, right? She was part of that movement where this whole, she couldn't have a bank account thing. Mm-hmm. She said that, no, when she was married, right? Even when she was married, right? She's always had access to the bank account. So this whole, whenever we got this movement to get our bank accounts, she said, that's a crock of crap.
Leadership, did your granddaddy have a credit card? Leadership?
No, didn't believe in him.
See, everybody always talk about this credit card and banking stuff, and it's like it's one-sided, and we haven't even experienced it, and we're taking on, we're living vicariously through a past generation, but then y'all say don't bring up the generation. On one hand, y'all say we living in different times, but y'all always want to go back and pull what happened back in the other generation to try to make a point.
Clap. What they be doing is reading about history and be like, oh, we couldn't do that. Oh, I feel the trauma. I feel it. And they even know that if we even exercised what we could not do. Like,
and they can't even deal with the little pressures they got going on now in today's society, which is nothing.
And you know what the funny part about it is that we talk about not going back to things. People cannot stop going back to their ex that's toxic for them. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we saying?
It's bizarre.
What is happening?
Can I ask a question?
Say it.
Please.
So with what we're talking about with women, right? Where do you think they got them learned behaviors from? Like, if it's not passed down from generations of women in their lives,
they live vicariously. It's like every day on this app. What happens is a woman will come up and tell a story. And when a woman comes up and tells a story, the other women will identify with her because they heard it. And they'll take on that pain and that situation as though they went through it. We see it every single day. It's almost like they did it.
So you mean to tell me that none of these women are growing up in households with the mothers who were toxic to them, and then their mothers were toxic to them, and they come down not having the proper interaction and understanding?
We had several young ladies.
That's not possible.
Peter, remember, we had a situation where we had some young ladies coming up talking about some of the things you're talking about, and Peter said, he said, I want to ask you a question, ma'am. Do you know anybody that was abused in your home? She said no. He said, were you abused by any of your boyfriends? She said no. She said, was your mama, your auntie abused? No. So where are you getting this from? And she was acting like she had the abuse herself because one of her friends.
Said, right. No. She said I was in a live. And I heard somebody say,
live and heard.
I said,
that's very true. That's very true. But can I ask that? That's a minority compared to the majority of females who have lived in households. Hold on. Can I say this? Because there are a large amount of women who grew up in unstable environments who seen their mother not know what she was doing as a parent, was with their grandmother, and their grandmother wasn't doing what they needed to do as a parent. And so now they have the wrong image of what women are supposed to be doing and don't really know what they're supposed to be doing as a woman because nobody around them truly showed them what women are supposed to be doing. So those are instances as well.
Wait, listen, even with that, if they don't know what they should be doing, do you think they should be advising other people what to do or what not to do?
No, I don't think that they should be advising people.
That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. And that's the problem.
That is true, but what is also a problem is the lack of some women who do know.
Go to the butt. What is this? What are we doing?
But where are the women who are teaching them what's right, who is giving them proper advice? And I don't mean in a demeaning, inferior way. I mean in a way to really help them understand where they need to be going, the tools they need to use in the instances of life that they're actually going through. Where are those women advising them?
They're there. Where? They're there, but what happens is they want to spend all day talking about the trauma all day long. They don't ever want to get past talking about the trauma.
And I can agree with that. Yeah,
I feel like women don't take enough accountability, guys. I'm sorry.
That is true too. That is very true.
Like no one's debating that.
Hold on, let me say this real quick. Hold on, I'll let you speak. But here's the thing: when you get a young lady like Miss Fancy that has some wisdom, we had to kind of get her to stand on her answer. But she says, I'm going to tell you what I see. But all the other women, they got to sit back. I don't know. I can't speak for me. I don't see that. I don't really see that. I don't understand. This is the problem. We either got glasses on that don't see the truth, or we want to live in a lie. Like, I don't understand. Everybody has trauma. Everybody, this is what, we can't get anywhere.
I was saying this too. If you don't admit or find out where you are, how can you go where you're trying to go? Think about that. If you don't know where you are on the map, how can you go where you're trying to go? You see what I'm saying? And so that's the issue that we're having. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we can't fix this, that some people won't see that, hey, I find out where I'm at and now I can finally get to where I'm trying to go, or at least begin to try to where I go. But we have a lot of deflection. We have a lot of, you know what makes our lives so long? It's women. It's not the men.